What are you doing in Providence? Did you go to Brown?
I actually did go to Brown, briefly, but I dropped out.
So that makes you smart but lazy.
Thanks.
No, it's okay. I got into Brown because I lived in Rhode Island, but...
Oh, that is so not true. You're super smart. You weren't some regional quota filler.
You're actually from here? Oh, congratulations on losing the accent.
Oh, we moved here when I was 11. I was born in North Carolina, actually.
Well, my congratulations holds. That's a pretty fucking awful accent, too.
It's about a brother and a sister and their complicated relationship. It's also about a husband and wife. And then it's about a stranger who enters their lives.
I think that Becky is a catalyst for a lot of change in the world in every person's life in the play. And also I think that Becky is in transition.
I would describe it as how relationships can dissolve because of things that are completely out of your control and because of circumstances and how they just happen to fall on top of each other in the order in which they do.
The main thing was reading an interview with Mira Nair, who adapted Vanity Fair with Reese Witherspoon, and she talked about, Americans' relationship to class and how she felt about adapting a book about a female social climber and how Americans would respond to that. And so I got sort of interested in that, about, the idea of class in America being something that we don't talk about as readily even as we talk about sex. And I also had this piece in my mind about sort of the way overdressing even a little bit can sort of shift the power dynamic in the room irreparably.
Let me take your coat.
Oh, it's nice to meet you all, or both.
Wow. You look like a birthday cake.
No, she doesn't. Ignore him. It's nice to meet you, Becky.
I was complimenting her. It wouldn't kill you to wear a dress once a year.
You're going to be walking into a no-holds-barred family, a family that doesn't pull any punches, and a version of reality in which the truth is delivered in its most precise, most concise, most razor-edged, and most oftentimes brutal, unabashedly brutal way.
If we all told the truth like that, we'd be hurting each other's feelings daily. So I think that's part of it, but there's also there's a real dark side to it, and it is dark comedy. So yeah, it's a peculiar play, but I like peculiar.
I love this group of actors so much. They are all, well, first of all, they're all so brilliantly cast and so fantastic in the play, but also just a total blast to work with.
I don't even really know where to begin. I mean, I think it's kind of an embarrassment of riches, to be honest with you. There's from moment one with every single one of these people, it has been an absolute joy to work with them. They're incredibly capable, they're incredibly talented, they're incredibly generous actors.
I think because the five of us love each other so much, we're able to play with each other more on stage. And I think in a play like this, it's so important to be able to play because the audience is really the sixth character in more ways, in so many ways,
I think the thing that really attracted me to this piece, first of all, was I was reading it and I never knew where it was going. At times, I thought I knew where it was going, and I was completely wrong.
It's like taking a world that's relatively normal and skewing it. It's like twisting it sideways so that we're all it's a little eccentric, it's a little off. And that's exactly the kind of humor I like. It's almost like an alternate reality. It's not a fantasy, but it's not quite real, but it could be real, and so there's a very strange quality to it.
I just think, expect to have a really good time. I expect to be moved and to enjoy yourself. I think it's just a really good time.
I would say to the people who haven't seen the show, I would tell them, read as little as possible about it. And I'm not saying that in a way that there's going to be crazy plot twists, but this is the first show I've ever done where I haven't told anyone anything. I think it works best if you just come along for the ride.